Less attention was paid to the women whose lives were irrevocably shattered by Lovelle Mixon's violence. In the weeks after the shootout, as DNA evidence confirmed his role in multiple rapes, their stories began to emerge quietly, painfully. One survivor was just 12 years old. Another, a college student walking home from a BART station. All had been abducted, assaulted, and left traumatized. Some had reported the crimes. Others had remained silent until the news broke. When Mixon's face appeared on TV, one survivor collapsed to her knees. "That's him," she whispered. "That's the man." Therapists and victim advocates scrambled to support these women as the news unfolded. For them, the narrative surrounding Mixon, the debates about race, poverty, and policing felt like erasure. In the face of systemic injustice conversations, their pain was almost sidelined. "They were talking about him like he was a symbol," said one victim. "But to me, he was a nightmare. I lived through him." The discovery of multiple assaults, including forensic links and corroborating testimonies, solidified Mixon's identity not only as a cop killer, but as a sexual predator. His crimes were not a singular explosion of violence, but part of a long chain of deeply disturbing behavior. The women left behind didn't get memorials or processions. They didn't get flags or politicians offering condolences. But they existed, and their trauma was part of the story no matter how uncomfortable it made the public. One victim chose to speak anonymously to a local reporter. "I'm not saying what happened to those officers wasn't tragic. It was. But I want people to remember what he did before that day. Because we were already dying inside before he pulled the trigger." A city haunted. 1 year after the March 21, 2009 shootings, Oakland was still a city in mourning and in transformation. At the Oracle Arena, a memorial was held on the anniversary of the officers' deaths. Their names were read aloud. Bagpipes played. A flyover of police helicopters passed overhead in formation. But across the city, another gathering was taking place. Smaller, quieter, at a community church in East Oakland, activists and organizers hosted a forum titled, "1 Year Later, Violence, Justice, and the Search for Solutions." Panelists included former inmates, social workers, teachers, and a mother who had lost her son in a gang shooting. The purpose wasn't to praise or condemn Lovelle Mixon. It was to examine the conditions that created him and to ask how to stop the next one. One panelist, a former cellmate of Mixon, described him as cold, angry, and lost. He didn't know how to come back to this world. He'd been behind bars since he was a teenager. They let him out, but they didn't give him nothing. No